G'day guys, welcome back to Marathon Me. Just before we get started, I got a special guest coming in. Hector, you want to come introduce yourself? Jack, am I speaking to Jack Sparrow at the moment? R.
Oh, is that what? Oh, yes, it's me, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Are you mocking me, Rhys?
It's no. What? I thought that we were in character.
Barbosa, what are you Barbosa, what are you...
Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
The fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Welcome back, everyone, to Marathon Me. Sorry about that painful introduction.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rush stormed our set, and we had to, kindly ask him to,
We don't, like, how do you tell Jeffrey Rush to leave a room? I don't know how to do that.
I felt really bad, honestly, and then you're going on being like, I don't want any Jeffrey Rush anywhere near me, and I think he was crying, honestly, when he left the set.
I don't want to hurt that man's feelings.
Well, you did, mate, and I hope you're proud of yourself for that.
Well, anyway, welcome back from our small hiatus of the podcast, which is 100% just due to schedules being completely screwed up.
Yeah, it do be like that, uni, jobs, life, hunting for treasure and all that, all that golden stuff.
Adult life is just at the moment. It's going from so I'm at the moment balancing work, university, and an internship. But the internship is pretty damn cool because it's at Cinema Nova. Which I've mentioned on the podcast before anyway, and how it's a, location favorite of the show. And now I'm somewhat working there and not getting paid.
First Cinema Nova crowned him as the ultimate Wes Anderson fan. Now he is an intern there, unpaid, but he's got some spicy ideas floating around with Cinema Nova events, other things that I'm not aware of. But
at the start of big things here, but. Yeah, how cool. Anyway, what's been happening with you, Kane?
I quit my job at Pancake Parlor. I was never planning on working there long term, but I quit a while, maybe a week or two ago, as of recording, and I am currently starting. I've finished my first week of working at a place called Baker's Arms Hotel, which is a TAB / Pokies bar and all that up in Richmond.
You just doxed the exact location that... Well, actually, I doxed as well.
Yeah, what the fuck?
True.
I'm sure the fans are going to come to a fucking TAB up in bloody...
Abbotsford.
Yeah, Abbotsford, Richmond and all that. So, fans, come over. I'll serve you a pint. I'll do it, but, you got to pay. But anyways.
And then you can go have a good time at the Pokies afterwards.
Exactly. You can spend all your silver and gold doubloons and Aztec gold and all that good stuff. But it's alright there so far.
And are you still at uni as well?
Yeah. Not too much anymore. Just because it's usually 1 to 2 days a week. And it's mostly online, so it's kind of just, I don't know, not really feeling it at the moment. But, it's I've only been doing it for maybe a month and a half. So we'll get more into the swing of things soon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I am lucky enough to say that my uni is now in person. Yes, which I feel like I'm actually learning things and I'm meeting people and making friends and it's so good. But it's just really, really time consuming now.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Spend about 2 hours every weekday on public transport.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for the record, I'm doing part-time, so if anyone's thinking they're I'm just I'm ditching all my days of uni. No, I'm just
wagging all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really cool. I'm paying fucking lots of money, but I'm wagging all the days. Yeah, great idea.
So to introduce what we're doing today is the first episode of our Pirates of the Caribbean marathon.
Woo! Yeah, let's go, boys.
Woo! Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, let's go, me hearties.
And we're starting with Black Man. What is it? It's Curse of the Black. You
want to finish that, mate? Finish that.
Curse of the Black Pearl.
There you go. You did it, Savvy.
Here's a bit of the trailer.
Savvy.
You
You're not facing normal pirates. Cruel, demented, vicious pirates, to be certain.
Say goodbye. Goodbye.
But cruel, demented, vicious pirates who cannot be killed.
The moonlight shows us for what we really are.
That's interesting.
We are cursed, men.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Gents, you all remember Captain Jack Sparrow. Kill him.
How lovely. What is your experience with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise?
I feel like every kid went through, I think, a Pirates phase at one point or another.
It's not a phase. I just like drinking rum and sailing the seas.
I love it. I love getting not rabies, scabies and what's it? Scurvy.
Yeah, scurvy is the pirate one.
I do be loving a bit of scurvy. I don't eat fruits and vegetables.
I can't eat me veggies because I'm a pirate.
Do you think Patchy the pirate from SpongeBob has scurvy?
Oh, he definitely does.
Yeah,
he has chlamydia and everything else. Yeah, all the pirates have.
He's the pirate all pirates fear.
Yeah.
But anyways, my history with the Pirates series was I watched the fourth one on Stranger Tides when it came out back in 2011, which, obviously I'm not going to share my feelings, neither will Rhys until we get to it, but
stay tuned.
I think just the idea of, pirates, because, a lot of pirate movies before the the Pirates of the Caribbean movies were, more geared to adults. They were very kind of, a lot of them were sort of grounded in reality, or, they just weren't really made for kids. And I'm not saying Pirates of the Caribbean was, it's a kid's series, but, it's Disney, so, obviously kids can watch it and get something out of it. And I got a lot out of it, especially out of the Jack Sparrow character. I just, every kiddie thought he was the coolest guy back in the day, way back when. And, I guess that's just kind of what propelled me to really get, dig into the series and all that. Also helps that, that was one of the big franchises at that point. You had your Lord of the Rings, your Harry Potters, your Star Warses, wow.
Yes, all the Star Warses.
All the Star Warses. You had those series, and, a lot of those series kind of came to a close by the time I watched On Stranger Tides, which is 2011. So when I discovered, when I finished all those series and discovered Pirates, I was like, wow, I want to watch more of this stuff. This stuff is as a 10-year-old me would probably think, epic. Yeah. Dare I say epic.
What I find so interesting is that pirates are something that are immediately identifiable and everyone knows pirates. Yeah. But I don't think that it's that massive of a genre.
No.
Or, at that point anyway.
No, it really isn't, because pirate movies were seen as box office bombs back in back before 2001. Because, the last big one was Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis, and that film bombed hard.
That's pretty much one of the only, pre-Pirates of the Caribbean pirate movies that I can think of.
Yeah, literally. You have, that. You have, Mutiny on the Bounty, which is, this old 1930s film. I haven't seen it, but, it's pirates, I think. But, yeah, is there any others?
It says Yellowbeard is, a common, or, a common... pirate comedy. There's not a lot that's out there. The Pirates of Penzance, stuff like that.
Never heard of these movies.
But it's not that big.
No.
Which is bizarre, because pirates are probably one of the most, iconic sort of archetypes out there in popular culture.
Yeah, literally. You got, example of another archetype, you got medieval fantasy stuff. There's a lot of those kind of films, but... And then, everyone knows pirates, everyone knows knights, but not a lot of pirates films.
Yeah, I would say that Pirates of the Caribbean seems to, save or rejuvenate the pirate...
Yeah.
Subculture, that it's... Yeah. The pirate, iconography again, which is just bizarre. And my relationship with this franchise is I have never seen any of them before.
Yes, you have not.
And and it's something that, of course, I've been always oh yeah, I'm willing to get to it. But I'm not a big pirate guy, I don't think. It's not my favourite sort of thing.
You don't fancy a glass of rum every now and again, Rhys?
I do like my rum, but I'm not really a scurvy sea dog.
Oh, damn, man.
No, I'm just not that into it. The aesthetics just don't grab me too much. But what I was really excited about with this marathon was to actually see what everyone was hyping it all up about.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of like the series. Like I rewatched them, at least the first 4 last year with my mate Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence. Yeah, we rewatched all the first 4, and we had a great time with them. And so when I think I pitched the idea of the Pirates films to you, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, and you were like very like for it, and I was like, okay, screw it, let's go. And then I found out obviously you hadn't seen them, and I was like, okay, let's see what Rhys's take on this is. I want to see his kind of first. I want to pop his pirate cherry, you know what I mean?
And it was a nice tit for tat with like me sort of introducing the Wes Anderson films to you. You went in blind, and I was sort of like not an expert, but I was like into it and quite knowledgeable.
You knew your way around his filmography.
Yeah. So I could sort of like guide that journey where this is really you guiding the pirate's journey. Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit? Do you want to get into the first movie?
Oh, I mean, what else are we going to talk about, Rhys?
Okay, sick. So, as it started, the first thing that struck me was, am I liking this? I wasn't quite sure. Like, I was very sort of like, I was intrigued because also like Captain Jack Sparrow is just one of those people that Johnny Depp has cemented into the freaking zeitgeist of our time and our culture.
Iconic movie character, yeah.
One of the most iconic.
Yeah.
And I know all about him, but I've never actually seen him in any of his films. So I was interested to sort of dive into that, and I thought that he was charming.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
And but I was just sort of watching him going, I don't know if I am really loving him.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
First set piece with him, like his introduction.
Yeah.
I thought quite good.
Okay, like, quite good, that's it?
Yeah.
Well, like when he's on the ship and all that, and like they're playing the epic music. Really? Quite good?
It wasn't the grand entrance. It didn't hit me too hard.
Are you kidding me?
So
yes, it hits me every time. It gives me chills every time I see it. The music coupled with just him standing on the mast of the ship. They don't show like how large the ship is, and then showing that like, oh, he's this epic pirate, but like, oh, he's always down on his luck, but he always finds a way to get back out to like, you know, get out on top and all that.
It is pretty good when it's slowly sinking.
Yeah, nice subversion of expectations of the grand hero, since you know his entrance starts off as grand, and it's like, oh, his boat's sinking, and he's like kind of a loser.
It is pretty like it's more sort of like subtly badass. It doesn't feel like that it's like trying to chuck the badassery in your face, which definitely happens with the later movies, where he just like very casually walks from the top of the mast onto the freaking pier.
Yeah, he's not trying. They weren't trying too hard to make him cool. Like, yes, they were trying to make him cool, but it felt kind of effortless. I reckon, at least.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. And he does have charisma. Like, there is no doubt about it.
Yeah, he was nominated for an Academy Award for that performance. Did you know that?
Oh, what?
Yeah, he was nominated for Best... Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in 2001 or 2002, I don't remember. But, like, check that. I swear to God that is true, though.
That is bizarre.
I mean, look, man, it's the Oscars, man. If they can give Will Smith an Oscar after he slaps around Chris Rock, then, you know, anything can happen. You know
of course,
I mean?
And you've got to come up. Massive.
We won't get into too much detail, but, man, Will Smith is a clown, bro.
Oh, absolute cockhead. I would expect, if I'm a grade 4 teacher, for my students that are 10 years old to have more self-control if they are like insulted in my classroom, and this is a grown man at the fucking Oscars.
Oh, I know.
Bad.
Anyways, that's all we'll mention of that whole fiasco. I just figured we'd just quickly give our thoughts on that whole situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I also think that something that probably took me out of this a little bit too is that I'm not really an Orlando Bloom fan. He's very just over the top and not identifiable, and so just bland.
Oh yeah, no.
Do you find him really bland?
Oh no, I completely understand. Like, a lot of people, even the ones that are diehard fans of this series, they do not like Orlando Bloom. Like, a lot of the people, more so, they don't like the whole Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley romance plot, which is really the main kind of plot in the first one, especially, and like in the first 3. Like, it's this whole this grand love story between Elizabeth Swann and forgetting his name, Will Turner.
Yes.
And they really could have picked a better... I think they... Because, like, Orlando Bloom was really big during the early 2000s. You know, he was Legolas in Lord of the Rings. He had some other roles, I think. I don't remember. And so this was, like, kind of like his big kind of starring vehicle, because he is the main character in this. Jack Sparrow is a side character in this movie.
But to fact check you,
okay.
I think that it was Best Actor that he was nominated for.
Best Actor?
Not Supporting Actor.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia.
Okay, well, I was close enough.
Yeah.
But, like, he is a supporting character in at least this Pirates movie, I feel. Like, this is... They wanted Will to be kind of the everyman kind of hero and then play off this like wacky kind of loose can, like, is he on my side? Is he gonna betray me? Like, who's he? Like, he's not playing it one side fully. But going back to the Will Turner thing, a lot of people, you know, do have their criticisms towards, you know, Orlando Bloom. He doesn't have that kind of... He's kind of like 90s Keanu Reeves. He can't really act, but
but he's got the charm.
He's got the charm. He's good looking, and I'm quite fond of Orlando Bloom because of how bad of an actor he is.
Okay.
I don't know, like, there's just this like childlike innocence that I get from him whenever he speaks. It just sounds like a child. He kind of gives me like he reminds me a little bit of David Arquette in the first Scream movie, except David Arquette could actually act in those movies. Meanwhile, Orlando Bloom just has that weird childlike innocence vibe throughout this movie and the other movies. Meanwhile, David Arquette, like, actually, you know, can act.
I feel like I don't get much of a sense of, like, Will's character. Like, I feel like that I don't really know him.
Oh, yeah, no,
and we sat through freaking 8 hours of screen time of this man.
Yeah, it's, like, I would say that it's like, oh, it's like, how Luke Skywalker was kind of like, you know, this bland everyman hero character, but it's like, they developed his character in those in like the Star Wars movies. They developed Harry Potter's character in the Harry Potter movies. You know, these everyman main character hero archetypes. They developed them, and like, yeah, I agree. Will Turner, like, he doesn't get a lot of development in the 3 films that he's in. Like, they do try, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it's not to the same standard as other movie heroes, and especially like in this movie, like, you don't get a sense of his character apart from him loving Elizabeth.
But it's funny that you mentioned Harry Potter, because that's a very, like, a grand spectacle feature, that's like feature franchise, that when watching these movies, I almost got this sense that I'm just like, man, I would love to be watching Harry Potter right now instead.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, yeah, that I think that's my sort of main takeaway when I was like, yeah, this would be a lot more enjoyable if I was watching my boys Ron and Harry hang out with Hermione and just do their thing instead of being on the pirate ship.
You would trade Orlando Bloom for Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh, any day of the week.
Actually, not gonna lie, I would too. I love Daniel Radcliffe. Shout out to my boy. Come join the podcast, mate. I love you.
Oh, if he
big fan.
Yeah, he would love it. Yeah. I feel that, like, one realization that I had during this movie is I'm just like, wow, pirates are just like old-timey terrorists, really. They will just do whatever they fucking want to just like just sort of destroy society and like take what they can.
Yeah. They're a bit naughty, you know. They're just, you know, they shouldn't really be doing that, you know.
Like when they were taking over the town early in this film, I'm just like, this is like, they're just terrorizing the village for no reason other than like to terrorize.
Yeah, they're just
pillage and plunder.
They're just messing about a little bit, you know what I mean? Just having a bit of fun, you know.
But this film, though, it had a quite good villain.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush.
Dude, we're going to talk about the villain. Okay, yeah, no, Jeffrey Rush as Captain Barbossa. God, it's such a just fun, scene-chewing performance. Like, he's having the time of his life in this movie.
He can really express himself, like, without a doubt.
I know. Oh my God, he's so much fun to watch. And, like, his whole villain motivation is really captivating, I feel. You know, they're doing what pirates did. They stole, like, this Aztec gold from this cursed island, and, you know, it's cursed, so they, you know, are forced to be undead, and they can't feel anything, they can't taste anything, they can't feel the warmth of a woman's touch. And, you know, they become, you know, decrepit skeleton people, and it's really cool. Like, they want to, you know, it's kind of like these pirates, which is funny, they want to return this treasure rather than steal it, because they are cursed. I don't know. I just think that's kind of a cute little change up on like a pirate kind of cliche. You know, they're going to go steal treasure. In this movie, they're going to go return the treasure. I think that's kind of cute.
It feels a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like that,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like that's appealing about this.
Yeah.
And like, do you like Jeffrey Rush in other stuff as well?
I have not actually seen him in many other films. Lawrence really recommends this film, The King's Speech, and which Jeffrey Rush is in. Apparently, he's really fucking good in it. I obviously can't say anything. I haven't seen the movie, but have I? No, I don't think I've seen any other Jeffrey Rush films. Honestly.
Okay. Well, when I got really into like Australian cinema last year, he popped up quite a bit because fellow Aussie Jeffrey Rush.
Aussie.
Yes. And he probably highlight for me. He's in a film called Bright. No, it's called Shine. Sorry,
I was going to say Bright. That's the Will Smith Netflix movie, mate.
Yeah, he's not in that. He's definitely not in that.
Yeah, thank God.
So Shine is a 1996 film that has Jeffrey Rush playing like a mentally deranged piano player that sort of like loses his mind and gets some sort of I don't know exactly what he gets, but it's some sort of mental breakdown. And he is phenomenal.
Yeah?
Like he, I think, very respectfully plays like a mentally deranged individual.
Okay, that's good.
And he just pulls it off really, really well. And he's got a lot of heart. And I was just in awe of him during the entire film.
Okay.
I'm just like, wow, this dude has so much skill. He was also in another Aussie film about like heroin addicts.
Yeah.
That has good old Heath Ledger in it.
Oh, yeah.
What is the film called? I watched too many Australian movies in a short amount of time, so I just like.
Is it called Candy?
Yeah, it's Candy.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that movie before. Yeah.
Yeah, Candy is very, very good.
Jeffrey Rush is in that?
Yeah, he plays like the person, like their sort of drug dealer.
Oh, okay.
Like their sort of like father figure drug dealer character.
Okay, interesting.
And yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
So Jeffrey Rush can be like. These are the three main sort of impressions he's made on me of characters that he's drug dealer, pirate, mentally deranged pianist.
The Jeffrey Rush spectrum. You love to see it.
Yes, he has infinite range, this man.
Yeah.
So good on him. It says that. Oh no, that's Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I was looking up Heath Ledger movies, and it, of course Brokeback Mountain is there, and I thought that I was looking up Jeffrey Rush movies. Jeffrey Rush was in this.
Don't get me talking about Brokeback Mountain, man. Don't get me talking about that movie. Man.
A recent highlight.
Yeah, right. That's like the last movie I watched before I came over to watch the Pirates movies and record. Man, that's some good shit, man. That's some sad good shit, man. I love it. It's such a good movie.
I need to see this. I'm pretty sure it's on my wall poster of like 100 movies you must see before you die.
It's like the first movie I genuinely sobbed during since like I think Lord of the Rings: Return of the King back in like 2020.
Oh,
like,
damn.
Lord of the Rings always makes me cry when I watch it, man.
Did you get emotional during this film at all?
What, the first one?
The first film.
No, not really. Like, you know, brought to tears or anything. But I was watching it with a smile on my face the whole way through.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Which I think is quite pleasant. You know, nice. Very nice.
One thing that I did really like is I think visually, like it nails the contrast of colors in there. Like everything pops in the grayscale.
Yeah,
I think so. Like visually, it's pretty tremendous.
Oh yeah, it's I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Jesus, it is visually very appealing to look at. Like a lot of it feels real. Like. A lot of things, like, there's real sets, there's real explosions, there's, there's the odds, you know, there's CG effects and all that, but, like, it feels, I don't know, it's got that, like, how am I describing this? Authenticity. It has that taste of authenticity throughout the whole film, like, just, set decoration-wise, like, production value-wise, mise-en-scene-wise, and, like, a lot of the action scenes, they feel real and grounded. Like, you know, like if this was made in 2022, there'd just be CG explosions and all that. Like, you know, they got real sets, real explosions, real people. Obviously not real skeletons, but, you know.
There's real skeletons.
But, you know, there's even skeletons for, you know, 2001 look pretty impressive, I will say.
They do date pretty badly, I think. Like,
oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I think that they... like, it just looks like they're on a different plane of reality to everything else around it.
Like-
I think that that's where, like, the rawness and the sort of, like, realism of the way that it's shot sort of, like, does it a disservice when the skeletons come.
fair enough, yeah.
Because I think then it looks really out of place. They almost have, like, this... Sorry.
No, it's alright.
They almost have, like, this blurry look to them that is, like, very sort of, like, early 2000 CGI will have this sort of blur to it. Or, like, there's, like, too much motion blur or something when they move compared to motion blur when other, like, actual actors move in the frame. So I think that's where they sort of, like, don't hold up for me.
Yeah, I guess. Fair enough. I think, like, it's not, like, obviously I'm not going to, like, sing its praise and say that it's perfect. Like, yeah, it is to a standard of, like nowadays, yes, you could say it is dated. But I think, like, compared to some other films in 2001 that were coming out, like, effects-wise, or, like, the only example I can think of at the moment is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which came out that same year.
Also dates.
Those effects are awful in that movie. Like, they look so much worse than compared to Pirates. But
that's fair. That's fair call. Well, they had a pretty big, like, well, quite a lot of money to play around with.
Oh
for this
my
movie.
god! I just realized I'm an idiot. I just realized Pirates of the Caribbean. Could you just check Pirates of the Caribbean? Is that 2001 or 2003? Because I think I've been saying
it's 3.
Okay,
yeah.
I've been saying 2001 this whole time. Okay, I feel like a fool.
It had $140 million USD to play with for the first Pirates movie,
son.
Which is a lot of money to put into a new IP.
Oh yeah, and especially like one that like people were against the idea of, since this is based off a Disneyland ride, and the last film that Disney made that was based off a ride was Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion, and I have not seen it, but apparently it is a train wreck.
I used to love that as a kid.
Oh yeah,
it was like there's just a perfect amount of, like, gothic kid content.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
but like I was like someone that really liked Scooby Doo and all those sort of like the gothic kid aesthetic.
You would have eaten that shit up. Yeah.
Oh, I ate it up, man. I think I probably that was one of those DVDs that I probably got about 10 times from Blockbuster.
Bloody hell.
When I was a kid.
Bloody hell, maybe I'll give it a watch now. Let's see if it holds up as a 21-year-old male.
We marathon every Disney film that is based off of a ride. Because there's at least 3 that I can think of now. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, and the movie that you just said.
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion?
I forgot Jungle Cruise is a Disney ride?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm quite sure. If it's not, that would be no, it definitely is. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I don't think anyone's going to fact check that. I think everyone forgot Jungle Cruise even came out. So,
I've heard that it's exactly what you would picture.
Well, I mean, it's The Rock in the Jungle, so if you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, like, I just want to quickly just go back to the effects for a second. Is that, like, while they're not perfect, I think that they didn't need. I feel like, for me at least, they didn't need to be. It was like that right amount of they're kind of goofy looking. Like, yeah, they're goofy looking. So they still got that fun but kind of spooky aspect for, to not, scare the shit out of the kids and all that. But they look fine. They look all right. They don't look distractingly bad to me, at least.
My favorite visuals in the film, without a doubt, the underwater visuals.
Oh, yeah.
And animals as well. I thought animals were pretty good.
Uh-huh.
But especially those underwater visuals. Which I think, like, that's one thing that, like, I think it's undeniable that, like, under the ocean is some of the most beautiful scenes, like, some of the most beautiful, like, environments on Earth. And there's something that if you don't do, like, scuba diving or snorkeling or anything, you wouldn't really see. I've never gone scuba diving or snorkeling.
Neither, no.
So it's an environment that has been completely unexplored for me in my lifetime, but I find it so gorgeous. So that's where, like, film and also, like, video games are a really good medium to showcase just how beautiful underwater scapes can be. Like, probably my favorite environments in video games are when you're exploring underwater, when it's not too open, because sometimes too open underwater is just fucked.
Ironic, because people really kind of hate, like, water sections in video games, so I've been told.
Okay, here's a counterpoint, is I think best video game world environment, BioShock, without a doubt. That is just beautiful under the sea environments that, it's just so
well, I mean, like, technically you wouldn't really class BioShock as, like, a water level and all that, since it's, like, it is in interiors under the sea. I mean, I haven't played BioShock before, so, like, I don't know much about it, but, like, I know that it's a city under the sea, and that's, like, a really cool aesthetic to me.
I'm just talking about, like, maybe not the, like, water level type thing.
The
'Cause
general
when
idea
I think of water levels, I think of video games that have nothing to do with water, and then there's one level that is in water and it just feels wrong.
Like the
because
general,
it's not made for that. You know?
Do you mean like the general idea of like just this like world under the sea and all that, and like you exploring?
I think it's exploration and being able to highlight underwater environments, which is what like that game does fantastically.
Yeah.
I think of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag as well, which is probably going to come up quite a bit here.
Oh yeah, that's a solid one.
Exploring the underwater sections there, beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. So yeah, that is what I think is really, really nice to explore. And this film and the franchise too. Like I never went. Oh, that underwater looks a bit shit there. I think consistently is really, really pretty.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's also like one of like my personal favorite shots in the movie is an underwater shot where the skeleton crew are slowly walking into frame, and it's like when they're about to like assault the Englishman's ship.
Oh yes, that's nice.
That is a just really fucking cool shot. Like I love it. It's so sick.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like cool imagery like that.
Yeah, definitely.
is definitely present here.
Yeah.
So here I'm probably going to get into what I didn't like as much.
Spicy. Let's see.
Because, like, personally, everyone, I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie. It didn't do much for me. And people, when I tell them this, are like, what? When I was telling people that I wasn't a big fan of, like, at a certain point through our marathoning, I was like, yeah, I'm not really liking these Pirates of the Caribbean movies that much. They're like, oh, okay, that's fair, but the first one you loved, right? And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That was a bit of a shock to the system for me, honestly.
Yeah, it was just like, I think that it mainly has to do with the narrative and the pacing. I think the pacing in this is pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just like a really linear, not exciting narrative that doesn't really engage me that much. And every 30 minutes in this film, a main character is locked in a cell. It feels so repetitive. There is for probably 60% of like the time that is in this movie. Like, we're not seeing 60% of screen time there's somebody in a cell like that we're watching, but you know, in like the knowledge of what's happening in this scene, somewhere there's a main character that's just in a cell, and it's different characters all the time, and it just got so fucking repetitive.
Oh man, would you count when Elizabeth gets captured by Barbossa's crew? Would you consider her being in a cell? She's technically trapped, a prisoner, even.
I can't even remember, but maybe.
Then
sure.
Elizabeth and Jack being on the deserted island, does that count as them being a prisoner? They are marooned on an island and are prisoners on that island.
I'm talking about explicit cell.
No, I know what you mean. I know
in the bottom of a ship. Which
I know what you mean.
Comes up so much.
Oh yeah, they really lean into it a lot in the later two films as well. It's very fun to point out.
Yeah, it's just like get some new idea. I want some more sort of environments to explore.
You're not a fan of the Dark Souls-esque opening, you know, in the cell.
Why it works in Dark Souls? That is the opening. That's it. That's why it works.
Oh man.
Instead of it just being like constant. And then also when the third main character goes into a cell, you're like, well, they're gonna get out.
How will they get out?
The last two main characters to be in cells got out. Why would it be any different to this one?
But Rhys, how did they get out? You're asking yourself not why are they in here, but how do they get out?
Oh my god!
How does Jack get out of this cage? How does Nicholas get out of this cage? How does the bird get out of its cage? How do we all get out of this cage?
It's really about the cage that we're always stuck in.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah. How does one get out of their own personal cages?
Precisely, my man. Precisely.
Oh well.
You didn't like the pacing though, yeah.
I didn't.
Did you
really
feel like the film was like dragging or rushing or kind of?
I think it dragged. I think it dragged a little bit, and also it's a really long movie.
Oh yeah. This man was not aware about the run times of this series in general. You thought it was going to be like what, like an hour and a half to 2 hours each.
I thought there would be hour and a half, like 96-minute romps.
Yeah, no,
I would think.
No, not even the first one. The first one's like almost an hour and a half, and then the third one I told you
2 hours and a half.
2 hours, 2 hours and a half, and then like I told you that the third one clocks in at almost 3 hours, and you were just like, fuck, man. Because like you wanted to watch all 5 in one day.
Yeah.
There was no way we were going to be able to do that.
That would have been how many hours? Approximately, it would be. Let's see, 5, 8.
Take it like a whole day.
It would take about 12 hours.
Yeah, it'll take a little whole day.
Longer. It would take around 13 or 14 hours.
Yeah.
Which, and I'm glad that we did not.
Yeah,
That
no,
would've been
honestly,
too much.
like, it was enough after, like, binging the first 3.
Yeah, binging the first. Well, I think that we'll talk about like the trilogy experience at the third one.
Yeah.
But
true.
it was rough.
Yeah.
It was like it was exhausting.
I will just say that, fair enough that you found it kind of draggy. I will say that the intro, apart from like the Jack Sparrow introduction scene, like the whole, establishing Elizabeth and Will is like, oh, they're adults, Elizabeth's gonna get married, but Will has feelings for her, blah blah, like that whole stuff, like the stuff at Port Royal, that does drag. I will admit.
Yes.
I kind of like on rewatch. Bit of a drag, but you had like the nice set piece. You had the Jack versus Will fight, their first meeting. That was a nice little piece of scenery. The Jack Sparrow intro, and then like once like Will breaks Jack out of prison, that's when like I feel the film starts to get going. And even during the slower scenes, I don't know, I didn't feel the pacing that much. I just enjoyed the ride. I was just enjoying. It's like a Disneyland ride. It's just there for the ride, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride.
Well, there's
For me.
one consistent thing that's going to come up with all these films is that you just don't feel the romance between Will and Elizabeth.
No, and that's a big problem because that's like a central point of the first 3 films at least.
That is like the central like crux of it, and that's like the thread, like the narrative thread that keeps on going from part 1 to part 3.
It gets worse in the later 2 films. It gets so much worse. Like at least
more heavy-handed.
At least in this one, it's just like it's simple. It's just a simple bloody. Oh, I love this girl, but she's betrothed to the Commodore Norrington, and I want to tell her how I feel, but I can't because that's not the world that we live in, and it's her duty to get married to the blah 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 blah. Like they kind of kept it just a simple kind of cliched romance plot in that movie, and then they just kind of go over the top in the later 2 films with the whole romance crap.
It's weird that like these 2 characters are like pretty much the main characters. Like, one thing that I sort of took from this film is that Jack pretty much falls into the narrative of this film.
Yeah, no,
like,
he does.
He finds himself in there by accident, and he doesn't really have to be there, which I think is actually an endearing quality about him, is that he's sort of like, he is along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like, as you're saying that it like feels like a big ride, he is the one that's taking the ride of the narrative. And then he almost like he's like the viewer's perspective.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, he's the viewer's perspective, while Will is kind of like the everyman that everyone's supposed to relate to, because then that's why they made such a blank slate kind of thing, because like, have the audience relate to this man, but, sacrifice his personality, just shred it all out. But yeah,
not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like you said, Jack's kind of like the audience's... Wait, what did you say?
I said perspective.
Audience's perspective,
because we're sort of like riding it through him, because how he is like riding along the narrative, we are as well.
Yeah,
like, that's how I take it. And then it almost like if we were in his shoes, then like we're pretty. Like, I think that the typical viewer is like not a very adequate pirate. Like, that's just me, generalizing.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make a good one. I like a bit of rum every now and again, but I don't like the sea.
Swashbuckling.
I'm scared of the open ocean, so I don't know if I could really be on a boat, on a ship for months at a time.
The lack of cleanliness is what would kill me.
Yeah. Nah.
So because of that, I don't think I would make a very good pirate.
Yeah.
Which is and like Captain Jack Sparrow usually gets out of situations just by luck.
Yeah,
and that's
literally.
like how we would get out of them.
Yeah,
most likely. It wouldn't be our like sheer skill, and like he does like show sometimes his like his sort of expertise of like he's good at thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do like the typical approach that other like pirates around him are sort of taking.
He improvises.
Yes, yeah, which is how like that's the only way that I would be able to get out of it is if I was really good at improvising. Yeah, which I'm not as good as him, but he, with him, it's 50% improvisation, 50% dumb luck.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Crazy dumb luck.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's mad, but he's a pirate, so it's
He's
all right.
mad.
He's
mad, this man.
Oh my god. Oh, man.
But I think this film had the best narrative arc for Jack.
Yeah.
I think. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Because at the end, I actually got a sense of narrative arc for him.
Yeah.
Where it was like Jack's search for purpose and respect. And like his heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
And what he gets with like getting the Black Pearl at the end is that he gets like the admiration that he wants.
Yeah.
And like his heart is in the right place, so he's able to get what he deserves.
He finally gets his day in the sun.
Yes,
with, the admiration of his crew, of his new crew, and his prized Black Pearl back, and making 2 new friends along the way in Will and Elizabeth, which is very sweet.
Yeah, which is like
to have them like basically hate him in the later 2 movies.
I think that's like it's a rare sense of narrative arc that isn't that present in this franchise.
Yeah, especially for Jack, I feel like in the later films you don't really get like kind of maybe in the second film, but you don't get that kind of sense of what's it called, finality in Jack's character arcs as you do in the first movie. I feel like
I feel
at least I think so.
I feel that this movie has like the most depth out of the others.
Yeah.
But I still didn't enjoy it that much.
I can't believe it, man. I think for me, because like I will say that this rewatch, I did not enjoy it as much as I did the last year. I still, however, really love this film. Partly because it's nostalgic for me, but also it's just a fun ride. Like it's just a nice turn my brain off kind of stupid movie. Not too stupid to the point where it's just illogical, nothing makes sense, but just stupid enough where it's like I can just sit back, relax, and just smile and just enjoy my time. And I don't know. It's a nice comfort movie for me, I think. But, obviously I think I have some bias. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know. I think it's fine.
But one thing that I've heard from discussing...
I'm underselling the film, but like, it's fine. It's whatever.
One thing that people have been saying from, like, their opinions of, like, why it holds up so well, or, like, why it was so impactful at the time, is that it was apparently presented as quite like a standard, almost like realistic pirate movie, and then the supernatural elements come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of hinted towards, but then it just occurs.
Yeah.
And, like, that is what sort of, like shocked people and made it really interesting.
Are you saying like marketing and all that? They didn't market the whole supernatural stuff. Is that what you mean? Or
no. Just from what I've heard from people, they've told me that the experience of the film is you're immersed in this pirate world that feels quite grounded, and then the supernatural element is introduced.
I get you
sort of far through it.
Yeah,
and then it's like, whoa, the possibilities are endless here.
Yeah.
Where when I think of the franchise, I picture a man that his head is a squid, is an octopus. So, which isn't too grounded. So I was expecting it to be a bit a bit out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it would have been great. Honestly, I love that idea that you're going into a film and you're like, yeah, just gonna see some pirates, do some piratey things.
And then there's see some crazy shit, supernatural shit.
Exactly. And then there's these skeleton crew and everything, which I think seems that seems very appealing to me. Being like my expectations being diverted.
Yeah. No, I get you. I just want to quickly just say an offhand comment, but Tortuga. I was gonna say that Tortuga, like the pirate town and all that. I was gonna say early in the podcast, like I want to go on holiday there. Go visit there with you, mate. But I just realized that it's just Melbourne. It's no different from Melbourne. Tortuga, all these people fighting, all these drunk people just doing drunk people things, all this chaos and anarchy. It's just Melbourne. It's just the Melbourne city. Have you seen Melbourne at night, people? Viewers at home?
Oh, it gets
listeners
rough.
at home? Oh, yes.
And there's, I think, like, Kane, now that you're working at this bar, like, some nights you're going to have to be in control of that stuff.
Yeah. I haven't had to, I haven't experienced anything like that yet, but I don't doubt that I will. I reckon I probably will see some sights, some unsavory characters, have a few Jack Sparrow moments where I have to make a quick getaway or, improvise. You never know.
Where I think probably this movie doesn't resonate with me is that a lot of this movie is introducing the world, right? Which is what it should do. For first movie in a franchise, first entry, and this world that it's introducing just isn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think that's why it just didn't really grab me, because it also is like a pretty standard pirate world that it's introducing, and I'm just like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
get this.
They didn't want to. I feel like when they were making this one, at least, they didn't want to like overstuff it with too much like piratey lore. You know, they just wanted to keep it like this one is very this movie is very simplistic, and that's why I feel like this one is the best one. It kept it simple. It's just pirates, a cursed treasure, damsel in distress, and some little supernatural elements. You know, they kept it simple with this one, and you know, unlike the later subsequent films, they really decided to expand, and not all of it for the better, in terms of the world and the lore and characters. Blah 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 blah.
Do you think that you're ready for like your final thoughts?
Yeah, I reckon I am.
Okay,
I reckon I've said what I need to say, but I really like this film. This film will always have a special place in my heart, and even though, you know, I do see a lot of issues with it, and you know, I feel like a lot of the issues in this film, however, they don't really do a disservice to this film specifically, more so towards the later films, like. Oh my god, I can just hear a train whistle.
Damn, that is a loud
Damn
train whistle.
Thomas, shut up, bro. Tell the fat controller, calm your man. But anyways, sorry, that train whistle just threw me off.
Do you want me to cut it?
No, I can get back on track.
We'll leave it in.
No, I can get back on track.
Leave the train in.
Yeah, the issues in this film, you know, they can kind of bring down the film for some viewers, and, you know, it sometimes harps my experience, but I feel like the issues, like the love story, some of the weird casting choices, you know, with Orlando Bloom and all that, they, as much of a disservice it does to this film, they do more of a disservice in the later films, and some story beats, complicated relationships, they really kind of drag the later films down rather than this one. When this one, I feel you can just watch this movie and not really have to bother with the later films. Like, I feel like this film is a nice little neatly wrapped package for me. I can just watch this one and then not bother with the other ones for myself personally.
Okay, what do you think makes this movie good though? Like, you said that you liked it, and then you're like, oh, I
think honestly, for me, it's just it's a crowd pleasing, fun adventure. It's like, it's kind of like, for me, the first Indiana Jones movie. This is just coming off the top of my head, but it's like this it's an adventure that the whole family can go on. It's like, you've got stuff that it does. You've got this action, you've got these big special effects, you've got, you know, these big crazy characters that, you know, you can get engrossed in, but it's also, it keeps the story simple in terms of, you know, pirates trying to return cursed gold, and a dashing hero with this crazy devil-may-care sidekick supporting character going to save a damsel in distress. It's something that a lot of audiences can really connect with, in terms of that it's a story that they're used to, that they're familiar with. Like, it's got a lot of cliches and archetypes that, you know, get rehashed in, like, the later films, and, you know, in other films that followed Pirates 1. But it's something that, I feel like, it's a film that, like, I feel like a lot of audiences can just... hang on, I've lost my track.
It's one of those movies that a lot of audiences can just fuck.
Can just fuck to, yeah.
They can have
No, but like, it's a film that, like, I feel like anyone can enjoy. Like, anyone can watch this movie, turn it on, and enjoy it. You know, it's got a little something for everyone. It's got the swashbuckling adventure that, you know, kids and, you know, preteens and teenagers alike would enjoy. It's got the big bombastic special effects. You've got a simple, yet not bare bones narrative that keeps you interested, keeps me interested. Maybe some people not so much, like, you know, yourself. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay. I say it while clenching my teeth.
Well, what I'm hearing is that, like, it seems like that it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think at the end of the day. It did what it set out to make a fun swashbuckling adventure, full of spectacle, full of character, full of heart. And I feel like this film, it has a lot, for a big budget Disney bloody Jerry Bruckheimer Gore Verbinski joint, it has a lot of heart, I feel. Something that the subsequent films and a lot of other Disney big-budget action films post-Pirates lack. At least to me.
Okay, like this seems to be around the board, like a lot of people's favorites. That seems to be around like an average score of like 4 out of 5 for most people. What I find interesting about this is that it's like on that list that I spoke about before of like the poster that I have in my bedroom of like the 100 movies. That you must
is that
watch.
on the list?
It's on, it's there right next to like Midnight Cowboy and Gladiator and like and Taxi Driver and stuff like that. So. If it's on there, people must think that it made a big enough impact as like an important film.
Yeah.
Where maybe I've been pretty not ambiguous. I've been pretty like just blind to it for a lot of my life. So maybe it was just one of those you would have had to be there sort of thing.
You had to be there to see it.
You had to be there. You just had to be there. It was a different time. It was different stuff going on.
Yeah. I think it's also just. I just want to quickly just say. I think it's also just because this is like. It's one of the biggest live action Disney films of that time, and I say that because I can't name a big budget or just any kind of Disney live action film that came out during like the early 2000s. I'm sure you can.
Big budget
but
live action.
I just feel like Disney's live action output was not as consistent in terms of quality and box office appeal when compared to like when Pirates came out, especially because like their animated features were doing very poorly at that time, since you had like your Treasure Planets, your Home on the Ranges, your Brother Bears, being shit in terms of quality and in terms of box office.
Yeah, that's fair. It doesn't seem like that there was a hell of a lot of live action, big budget Disney movies around that time. 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, is that the one with Glenn Close? Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. So, but that was like late 90s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, still big sort of gap.
Yeah.
Even like 102 Dalmatians.
Woo!
That was year 2000.
Yeah. Wait, the live action one or the
live action?
Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna say like the direct to video Disney film. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, how could we forget Flubber, mate?
Oh god,
1997 Flubber with Robin Williams.
I never saw Flubber, but I'd always see that godforsaken ad on Channel Go as a kid, and it's just I just hate that movie Flubber, and I haven't even seen it because I'd always see this ad on Channel Go. It's Channel 99. It's a Australian channel. Maybe it's somewhere. Maybe the other countries.
It's definitely Aussie.
Oh, what you don't think Portugal has a Channel Go? You don't think they
definitely do not. It's an Australian thing.
Damn, man. But no, like they'd always have this ad playing, and it's like this horrible song where it's like go Flubber, go Flubber,
and we'll play it now.
Yeah. Oh no, please, God, don't. Don't save the audience some pain. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember just there was an ad that would like play that shit, and it would put me in a great deal of pain.
1, 2, 3. Do a little dance, make a little flop, get down the night.
Robin Williams.
Go, move your little flubber booty.
Flubber.
So yeah, my closing remarks for this is pretty much just like, I don't really think it's that crazy. It's that crazy remarkable. It's just like, it's very sort of basic. It's a one with the most depth, but still limited there.
Yeah.
And I feel a bit of a slog to get through, to be honest. But visually, quite good.
Yeah.
It definitely has that going on. And as well for like a 2003 standard, I think craftsmanship is quite good. But then also it's like $140 million must have gone somewhere, right? And you can see like where it's gone here. It feels more like it makes more sense that you put $140 million into this and this is what you got out.
Yeah, got their money's the creators got their money's worth with this movie.
Yeah, totally. So, I think that's pretty much it for the first for Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl.
Hot diggity dog. Yar har har.
Yar har har.
Yar har har. Be sure to come join us next week for a dead man's chest. That hurts my throat so much. Shit.
Kane's throat is gonna be gone by the end of this series.
I'm gonna sound like fucking Christian Bale in The Dark Knight.
So stay tuned for more terrible pirate impressions, more unpopular opinions by me, and more praise for the series by Kane.
The praise will start calming down. Don't worry, boys and girls.
The storm
Lads
will
and
calm.
lasses.
The storm will calm.
Calm? Excuse me?
Calm.
Okay. Alright, see you guys. Calm, fuck's sake.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, marathonme_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.